And the team that gets me excited, Manchester United, Manchester United.
Right then, we're in the 80s now then, aren't we? So we've done 1980, yeah, that's my first one. And the next two, Tottenham won 81 and 82. And this is where you really get into it, the watching the coach leave the hotel watching it on grandstand. Normally they'd have a comedian as well, wouldn't they, at each team hotel. So, and that could be anybody. Stan Boardman, I think, did it once. Freddie Starr has done it as well. And I think maybe Bob Carroll or something, we Spit the Dog or something like that. Or somebody like that was on one of them. Yeah. I can't remember. And I think at one stage they actually had the comedian on the coach. And you wouldn't allow it. They wouldn't get anywhere near it nowadays, would they?
No, not at all.
So, to do it. So I love that 81 was brilliant. That was Spurs against City. It was 1-1, I think. Hutchinson got both goals in both nets. And then the replay was unreal, wasn't it? Ricky Villa, an Aussie Ardiles. Ricky Villa scored that genius of a goal. We'll have to show that one. So have a look.
Spurs have got two to his right, and Galvin wants to go on his own. Villa. And still Ricky Villa! What a fantastic run! He scored! Amazing goal by Ricky Villa! All of a sudden, Spurs are in front again, and look what happened here!
I think there's 3-2, I think it finished. He got two, didn't he, Ricky Villa? Absolutely amazing. And then the next year, 82, Spurs were in the final again against QPR. And I wasn't happy. Because the Falklands War broke out. And it impacted on the day's footage of the cup final.
I thought you were going to say you were called up.
No, a bit too young really. I was only 11.
No excuse.
No excuse, was it? No, I was 10 actually when the final. I was just coming up to 11. So, yeah, so they didn't really weren't on the bus that much. So they didn't do much. And I was like, really looking forward to it. And it's the Falklands War. Obviously, I know now that obviously a big thing, but then you don't. You're just thinking the football and stuff. So that was 82. Spurs won that one again, didn't they?
And then we still had our pop and crisps, though, didn't we?
We still had our pop and crisps, yeah, definitely. But then 1983, amazing. 1983, first time I saw United in the cup final proper. Under Ron Atkinson. So, glory, Man United. This was blasting in the Evans household. Right? Classic there, glory, Man United. I don't know, it got in the top 10, I'm sure it did in the charts. Okay, pop pickers.
And now the anticipation rises as the supporters await the arrival of the two teams. And the reception the teams will get and the scene inside the stadium in just a few seconds is what separates the English Cup final from any equivalent event anywhere else in the football world. Just wait now and enjoy it. National celebration for football people everywhere.
Glory Man United, the Manchester United football team.
Yeah.
Who knew they could sing? So that's that one. 83, and we nearly lost, didn't we? Do you remember?
Yeah, remind me.
All right then. So massive favourite, playing Brighton and Hove Albion. Massive favourites we were. Brighton got relegated.
Well, now let's harden up on the game. Manchester United is so much the favourites, really. Deservedly so and dangerously so, Bobby.
Yes. You look through the list of the players and when you look at the experience and the class of Manchester United, it just seems silly to back against them. And Brighton, and Jimmy Melia in particular, has been building his lads up to give them a chance. And the papers have tried to give them a chance because they don't want them embarrassed. But I feel that when Brighton line up and they have a look across and they see Stapleton and Robson and Whiteside and McQueen, I think it's going to be difficult for them to swallow. Hard pill to swallow.
United for you, Laurie?
Thanks.
That season, Jimmy Melia was the manager of Brighton, and they didn't take a coach to Wembley. They took a helicopter. I don't know if you remember that. They took a helicopter.
Well, for the whole team?
The whole team got an helicopter. I think they took 2 helicopters.
I was going to say, what are those big helicopters?
It was a big helicopter, yeah. It was a big one. A Sea King. Something like that.
The big...
it wasn't a Whirlybird or anything like that.
Whirlybird.
Or the Wright brothers, something like that. Anyway, it doesn't matter about what it was. I'll put a thing on there because it was a big thing on the time.
The other talking point was Brighton's extravagant decision to fly to the match in a helicopter.
To fly over the place before you're actually going to, go down there and play and see the supporters filtering around the ground. It was fantastic.
We were actually on the club coach and we saw their helicopter because the cameras were on it, and we actually saw their helicopter flying in above us.
It was a really wet day. The pitch was terrible. The game was good but really open, and Brighton should have been put in the distance, but what we didn't. They took the lead, and it went to it finished 2 each. So Ray Wilkins scored that goal, when he bent it into the corner.
Yeah.
And then he ran off. I thought he was going to run down into the centre of London because he ran off behind the goal. And there was that massive gap, weren't there, between the goal and the back where the old tunnel was. And his story goes, and that he said, "I wish I'd never done that because I couldn't run after that." He'd used all his energy.
Albiston's made a tremendous break through the middle for Wilkins. Oh, a brilliant goal by Ray Wilkins!
And then it went to extra time, and Smith must score that chance in the last minute. You remember Gordon Smith, and Gary Bailey saved it, but I think Gordon Smith missed it, to be honest. But McQueen and Miranda all over the place, falling over themselves.
Coming right to the end, the last minute of extra time now. Can anybody yet find the decisive move that will decide it all? Wilkins is looking, and then in the end searched in vain. Cut out there, Case. Turned on as Robinson got the legs. Scott Moran after him, and Robinson still in control. Play for Smith, and saved by Bailey. My word, what a remarkable finish.
Albiston to Whiteside. Albiston again, low in for Davis, who've got a good position. Robson! That's the goal that Manchester United wanted from their captain after 25 minutes. Tonight belongs to Manchester United and to Brian Robson. And Manchester United have won the FA Cup with the biggest winning margin for 80 years. 4 goals to 0. 1903 was the last time the cup was won so convincingly, and Ron Atkinson looks relieved, and well he might. His emotions were torn one way and then the other on Saturday, but Manchester United, the club that Matt Busby built, have won their first major trophy under their new management.
But we managed to fight another day, and we smashed them 4-0 in the replay.
Yeah.
Robbo got 2. So, but what I remember about that one is on the Wednesday, I think it was, me and my mate at school, we started singing "Glory, Glory, Man United" as we were lining up at school to go into the library, and we had detention. So, and he threatened to give us detention on the Thursday night, which was the replay time. This teacher, he wasn't a United fan. Terrible, wasn't it?
You're a very naughty boy.
I was a very naughty boy.
Very naughty boy.
Very naughty boy. Very naughty boy. So yeah, so we won that one.
From Her Royal Highness, Princess Michael of Kent, and the cup goes back to the north, to Old Trafford. And the fan gets where he shouldn't be. And Brian Robson, England's most expensive footballer.
And then we thought we were going to go on to greater things, but we didn't really. We got knocked out in the first round against Bournemouth. 2-0 in the third round the next year. Couldn't believe it. For 84, that was Everton-Watford. Elton John's big day, wasn't it?
I mean, it must be. I mean, you've had some great highlights. Yeah. This has to be it.
Never a day like this.
Yeah?
No. Not in my career or anything. I mean, I'm on the verge of tears now. It's unbelievable.
So, are you nervous?
No, I'm not. Actually, I'm just emotional. I mean, it's great, isn't it?
Right.
We saw coming in, we saw Everton and Watford supporters having drinks with each other. There's been no bad scenes. That's fantastic.
There's been many stories about saying that, I mean, you could never have possibly dreamed when you took over Watford that this could ever happen, surely.
No, yeah, I hoped it might in the future, but not quite so quickly.
So, well, you've had a great album this year. You've got married to a lovely lady. And you've got,
And I got a new
any
album
more dreams?
No album coming out. I want #1 single in England. That's all I want. All right.
Well, best of luck.
Thank you.
Best of luck.
Well, there's no doubt at all that he's the most famous and colourful chairman ever to attend an FA Cup final at Wembley.
Massive that was, wasn't it? That was good as well, wasn't it? Everyone wanted Watford to win.
Yeah.
And you had a bet on, didn't you, early doors for Watford?
That's right, yeah, and Everton centre forward let me down.
Andy Gray.
Andy Gray.
Yeah, Watford, I think they were a bit overawed, weren't they, in the final, if I remember rightly. And Andy Gray headed it out of Steve Sherwood's hands, the goalkeeper. So he jumped for the cross, he had it in his hands, and then Andy Gray headed it, and VAR wouldn't have stood for that.
No.
Whipping in quite a good cross there. Oh, Andy Gray, and it's given. It came out of Sherwood's hands, and Andy Gray has...
No. But yeah, so Everton won that one, didn't they? That was a shame, wasn't it, that, for Watford?
Yeah, if you look back over the years, VAR would have changed all the results of a lot of cup finals, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they would have done, wouldn't they?
I mean, the 57, 58.
Yeah.
Then they reviewed that and they would have cancelled the goal.
Under the existing rules, yeah.
Well, the rules as well.
Yeah.
But there you go.
But then people have said...
You can't rewrite the history books.
You can't rewrite the history books. But shall we claim those 2 FA Cup wins for United? 57,
Yeah.
58?
Go on, yeah.
Let's do it, yeah. So,
sorry, Curtis.
Yes. Peter McParlin. Watford. So there's a bit of footage about the Watford that day as well, so I'll put that on as well. Comedians before. I think Freddie Starr was with the Everton team, and it was what's his name? White at the back. White. Barrymore. He was with Watford.
Yes.
And they did a sketch. He was serving breakfast as Basil Fawlty.
Yeah.
Right. And some of the players didn't know what was going on.
No.
So I'll show you a little bit of a clip on that one, but Freddie Starr's funny.
We don't need Everton or Watford at Wembley. I'm playing with 2 teams I'm taking over from. I've always wanted to score a penalty against myself. I was telling the camera here. How are you, John? All right?
Yes, fine.
Good. Is that your wife?
Yes. We've had a lovely evening together.
Very peaceful.
Can I help you? Yeah, it doesn't matter, right? Stay there. We'll just sort this out. Excuse me. Come on, move along. Move along. Would you mind? No, I'll serve that for you. You just go away. What? Right. There we are. Excuse me, there's a meal. I'm sorry we got you the wrong one in the first place. That's it. You have that. Thank you. Ah, Basil. There you are. There you are, Basil. That's your double helping for you. Would you just like to stand up for a second? Come on, just relax. There we are. You're a little bit bigger than I thought. Stay there, and I'll see you later. Hello, Barnsley. You're not Barnes. Excuse me, how many careers do you like? I mean, you had one already. We have already got a goalkeeper. We don't need you.
Mr. Taylor said I could...
I don't care what he said. Come on, up you get. Come with me. That's it. It's full choice. I don't care. Don't reprimand me at the moment. Just go all this sort of place. You got a job with the BBC and you have to go off like that. That's it. No. No. Sorry about that. I missed. Have you got a long head or something? Sorry? No. Oh, that was funny, wasn't it? Oh, God, I'm rolling about now, Attention, alors England. À toi, ja. Dan kon je le monde le point dat de suie de pato. Oh, surtout la salata motuit à la fois. Oh, je comprends le monde. Tijd toch, hoor. Oh, le jout. لما شغلت مالو تشمالته ودمو حزال متنا تو شي كل مده وقت يقوم مده لو كنتي تشا بيتش نيبل بطاق لو كنتو شي نقوا
I've got a hand to our mate Mr. Tarbuck over at Champagne Bar, and he's got somebody there I think that both of us know.
Where is he? Can't see him.
You're on, John.
Good afternoon. I think they've got the wrong channel and the wrong Jimmy. Isn't that right, Jim?
No. Jimmy Hill, he's got very old, you know. His beard's gone bald.
Well, listen, it's over to that great double act of London Weekend, Greaves and St John.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to World of Sport. And Jimmy Greaves is still having a go at the Scottish goalkeepers. Are you there, Jim?
Yeah, that's right, son. Yeah, well, Scottish goalkeepers, what can I say? I mean, when they go abroad, they don't have inoculations. I mean, they can't catch anything anyway, can
they? So that was 84. And then 85 was a momentous occasion, wasn't it? What happened in 85, can you remember?
Don't ask me as though I'm your patient. No, I can't remember.
So
I remember I was alive. That's all I can remember about 85.
Okay, so 1985, another single. This one was called We All Follow Man United. So it's not as good as Glory Glory Man United, but it still did well in the charts. And on the B-side, it had Glory Glory Man United. So it was a
That's original, isn't it?
Winner. It was winner. Chicken dinner. So yeah, 1985, and we're playing Everton, and Everton were the top team then, weren't they?
Oh right.
They won the league. They just won the Cup Winners' Cup on the Wednesday, and this was going to be their treble.
Right, Saint.
I mean, it's a long time since you've been here, actually.
It is actually. It's a long while. I remember we always used to come round by the Old Trafford pub there and see all the crowd of smiling Manchester United faces waving at us with their fists. And, just coming here, they started throwing flowers, you know. McDougall, self-raising.
But it's a change in face of football, isn't it, really? I mean, the way that the ground is improving all the time. It's a super ground here.
It's marvellous ground.
Well, let's go in the souvenir shop and see if we can get something for Saturday's match.
You want to get some souvenirs, do you?
Yes.
Right. Let's move. We want to push in here, don't we? Hey, what are you
it's a bit busy,
anyway? What are you queuing up for? Don't know.
Tickets.
Oh, tickets, yeah.
Alec, how you doing?
Everyone's...
All right.
How are you, Alec? All right.
Busy week for you?
Yeah. Oh, look, you've got a FA Cup semi-final programme. Manchester United beat Liverpool. Who won that, Shane?
I've said nothing in here.
What about him? Butch Wilkins on the front. He won't be playing, will he?
I don't think so Saturday, that's for sure.
Alec, what do you normally sell then here? Is it most of? What do you sell most of?
Scarves.
Scarves?
And posters. And,
you sell all those birthday cards with all the players' faces and
we do, yeah.
Yeah? I wouldn't like very much waking up to one of them in the morning coming through the post. Some of that lot over there, look. It's a bit of a chamber of horrors, isn't it?
Right, time to go, Greasy. Ken, hello, sir.
How do you do?
All right, we've come for our tickets.
You've been lucky. My goodness me.
For the Royal Box we want, that's all.
That's full. We've had all our places
Royal
in there.
Box is
It's
full?
absolutely full.
Have you got nothing for us at all?
Not a thing. We just
See,
had Dennis Lawry for
me.
the last one.
Who?
Law.
Who's Dennis
He
Law?
said he could have your tickets.
He hasn't got one for the Royal Box.
Oh,
has he?
no. He's standing up.
I know he's rolled here around here. But
Yeah, he was a king here for a long
yeah,
time.
he was, that's right. Yeah.
Now, how difficult, Ken, is it for you in a week like this, build up to the cup final, handling the tickets? Because you've got 42,000 average gate, right?
Yeah.
You get 25,000 tickets to the club. I mean, how do you do it?
We don't. It's murder, basically. We have to say no to 17,000 fans who are here week after week after week, so it's absolutely dreadful.
So it's been really hard for you.
Yeah,
really,
it's obviously, when you have to say no to people who come to all your matches, there's none in there, it's not good looking.
Tell you what, and Arson Reddy's in here, son. Good Lord.
That's your fee, I was told.
Brian Moore's been here, there's some white fibres.
This is pandemonium, isn't it?
It's a bit of a to-do after the calm of that ticket office saying, isn't it? I wonder if they're the same tailors that the England team use, or whether these fit or not.
Yeah, well, you know yourself, cup final day, it's always a problem, the suits, you know. You always get somebody that's like about 2 inches longer in the leg than you. Oh, Matt, all right, son?
It's in the square.
See, well, if they don't fit...
No, see, you've not got a 7-line handy for me, have you?
No. Nothing much of the shirt. Try and get hold of one of those.
Tell you what, Norm, I think you could do with your trousers length.
Yeah, they're a bit short, them, I think.
Hey, what's it looking at here?
I'm taking them up a bit too much.
So it's going to be one of those games, lads, that if you go out and play the football you're capable of playing, the stuff that beat Liverpool in the semi, Brian, a goal to remember, son. Same thing at Wembley on Saturday. And the cup can come back to the Reds.
Is that it?
That's it.
Is that?
What do you think?
I'll tell you honestly, Shane. I think that was pretty impressive. Come on, lads. Here we go. Cheers, Shane. Very impressive, that here. Well played, mate. Good luck.
Ron Atkinson, who led his team to victory here 2 years ago, of course. Enjoying the sunshine down there this morning. Important day for United. George, a lot of people are saying that there's a bit more pressure on Brian Robson and Gary Bailey and the men than there is on Everton in a way. They've got to sort of win something this season.
Yeah.
What do you feel?
I don't know. I mean, everyone obviously has been talking about the pressure on both sides, saying how relaxed Everton are, and then the pressure on Ron Atkinson in particular because he hasn't won anything. I mean, I can't believe that anyone isn't nervous going to a cup final, player-wise. I think both sets of players are going to be suffering a little bit from nerves. And it's just on the day, I think, who settles quickest.
Gordon McQueen there and Alan Brazil. Gordon McQueen, of course, played in the final a couple of years ago for United. Emlyn, what are your feelings about the sort of United mood?
Well,
this match?
they'll be, as George has said, they'll be feeling nervous, and for people to turn around and say it's a relaxed atmosphere, it isn't. It's you try to make it relaxed, but you're nervous, you've got a lot of tension in you, and it is honestly, it's hard.
I guarantee there's a few of them just come from the bathroom. Don't worry
You really
about
think so?
Yeah.
Certain.
What about that particular journey? You've done similar journeys like that to Wembley on many occasions, Emlyn. Does anybody really have a bit of fun with that? Perhaps it takes your mind off the conquest to come a little bit because the fans are having a good
Well, if
time.
they've any sense, they'll get them curtains closed because it'll be a bit cooler because it'll be warm in that bus, and they'll probably be playing cards. The lads will get the cards out and they'll be playing hearts or whatever. They'll be having a game of cards, the lads, trying to get the nerves out the system. But it's good. I mean, they'll be feeling now that they've come so long, a full season, and this is what they've been playing for the full season since the cup started, the third round started, and back in January. And they'll be thinking, this is our chance, and they don't want it to slip by. The players don't want it to go so quick that it's gone and they've missed it. We missed it in 71.
Sure.
We missed it here. We never played. And you can't go back and replay the game. It's gone. Once you're beaten, you're out.
He's an important young man, isn't he? Paul McGrath.
He's improved tremendously all season. I've been very impressed with him. I think a word here may be a bit unfortunate. The other young lad, Hogg,
Yeah, the kid.
who's also had a tremendous season. They both played absolutely magnificently against Liverpool.
And Ron Atkinson, it's a game really. It's been taking place all season between yourself and John Gidman.
That's right, yes, and he's doing better today than I think he's done all season. By now he's normally well paralysed. At the moment he's 1-1 with me. Best of 3. Looks as if he could lose this one, to be fair.
Let's move over and have a word with John Gidman, who's had such a great season for United. Is that a fair assessment of the game so far? Looks he might lose this one.
It's not over yet, is it? I'm struggling, but I mean, it's my block, so I've got a chance.
Right. John, on a serious note, we're very nearly at Wembley now. We've
no chance.
No, don't waste the time being serious with you. No, but just less than a year ago, you kind of thought you'd be here on the coach now with such terrific scenes like this.
No, I suppose 8 months ago I asked for things weren't working out. That's the way football is, and look at them. You know, it's brilliant.
Well, just look at this magnificent sight. Ron Atkinson, you've done it before, but we've got the weather, we've got everything, and look at all the fans out there.
They say you would get used to this. I can't. It's quiz. It's packed. He'll do for me. That's money in the bank. This is marvellous, isn't it? You know, they say all the sort of involvement and all the harassment of Wembley and things. I tell you what, you put up with this every year at the last day of the season, wouldn't it? Brilliant. They'll enjoy it. I hope, in terms of the game, we've talked a bit about the game, but I hope these people, both lots of supporters, genuinely have a good afternoon, particularly those in red.
We're getting into the tunnel. That's
horses there. That's quite a wide and cavernous tunnel. And in fact, funnily enough, the coaches, in fact, are parked in there right through the game. They've got there, well, they reckon about a quarter of an hour before the Everton players, and it'll be nice to see them get off the coach there, because they then go into the south dressing room. And there's a nice little point that Manchester United there will, I'm sure, be happy to know that since 1946, 28 winners out of 39 games have gone to the lucky south dressing room, and that's where Manchester United are heading right now. Of course, the only thorn in their side, I suppose, is the fact that Everton were in the north dressing room last year and won. Well, the cameraman there, I think, just looking at the words where they break rather sharply there. Good moments these for a finalist, Ian, when you're there.
Oh, yeah, yes. Yeah, now the business begins. They come out and have a look around, feel the atmosphere, you know, for 10 minutes or so. And then it's down to the serious stuff, you know, all the joking and laughing and the card schools and who won the horses and everything else goes out the window. And it's everybody starts getting their mind on the game.
Two team officials, Frank Stapleton, his 5th FA Cup final, as we were saying. In fact, I think there's only one player on either side who's never, in fact, appeared ever at Wembley, and that's Pat Vanden Hauwe of Everton.
Has Gordon Strachan played at Wembley?
Gordon Strachan, I think, played here for Scotland a couple of seasons ago.
Did he?
I think it was interesting what Ron had to say on the coach. Really, it does relieve the pressure, all the build-up and that to these players. But I think that he said that the most important thing, he said, that all he wants to do is when they get there is to win. And that's what cup finals are about. And I'm sure that's all that's going through their mind now is let's get out there and get into the game.
You see, they're an hour and a half before the kick-off. Now, that's a lot earlier, Jimmy, than teams normally get to a ground, isn't it? It's usually an hour, 3/4 of...
Well, Ron Atkinson, a marvellous Wembley atmosphere once again. It's like home, isn't it?
Well, it's nice to be here again, isn't it? Last day of the season, perfect, typical cup final weather. Crowds are in good voice. Sometimes there's a complaint that the crowds are not noisy enough at cup finals. This one there'll be plenty of noise here today.
Well, it's great. A brilliant day here, and it's just great to be part of it.
You're the man that everybody says is going to be involved in this tense midfield struggle with the Everton players, Reid and Bracewell and Sheedy.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard battle in midfield for Brown and myself, but I'm sure we'll give him a good game in there.
Super. And Brian Robson, the England and Manchester United captain, you've missed the last 3 United games, but obviously 100%. You've had 110% fit, I should think.
Yeah, I'm okay, Tony. The hamstring's cleared up and I've no problems with that. And I think, in a way, the week that I've had off has made me refreshed, ready for today's battle.
Well, Gordon, of course, you've won a Scottish Cup winners' medal with Aberdeen for the last 3 consecutive seasons. How is the build-up and how does the atmosphere compare with the Scottish Cup final with today here at Wembley?
I don't want to run down the Scottish Cup final too much, but this is a different occasion altogether. This is magnificent. I've played in 3 Scottish Cup finals in the shot, but this one's it's caught my breath.
Do you feel this is more charged, there's more emotion in this?
Yes, because it's built up
into a real big occasion, of course, which it is. After a World Cup, this is the biggest occasion in world soccer. Yes, but what was your first awareness of the English Cup final?
The first was I watched it on the television in Denmark, and the atmosphere when you watch it on television is very good, I think, but to be here is absolutely brilliant, I think.
What age were you when you first saw those English Cup finals back in Denmark?
I don't know what the first was, but the one I remember most was Liverpool and United in '77. So, and now I'm here with United, so that's just a big occasion.
It's easy to speculate that when you saw that game in '77, you were filled with the ambition to actually come out here and play for Manchester United. Would that be true?
Yeah, I think, yeah. If I went to English football, I would like to play for United, yeah. And now I'm here with them, so that's very nice.
Oh, this is a sending off, and
yeah, Kevin Moran.
Very disappointed.
Very disappointed. And he was very disappointed. But saying that, if he hadn't got sent off, I don't think we would have won that final, you know. No, it sounds funny. But I don't think that's funny. I don't think we would have done. I think it changed the game.
when he got sent, we were so... Couldn't believe it, could we?
Couldn't believe it. No. And it was more... I don't know. Was it Peter Reid? He did roll over a few times, didn't he? So, and the referee, what was his name? Was it Willie? Was it the referee?
Oh, I don't
know what it was. He was a bit of an idiot.
He was a bit of a willy, wasn't he?
He was a bit of a willy. Another term for him. And he wanted to have the headlines, didn't he? First referee to send someone off in a cup final, and it was Moran. So, but Paul McGrath was there. He would have stopped. It was Peter Reid. What he was trying to say was Peter Reid was in on goal and he had a goal scoring opportunity. No, he never. It's Peter Reid, and he got little legs. And Paul McGrath was coming back. He's going to get him. Paul McGrath would have had him before he even took 2 strides. So, but anyway.
McGrath. Oh, mistake by McGrath. They're getting through here. Oh, well, Reid has been brought down by Kevin Moran, and that has to be a booking at the very least. Peter Reid has been brought down. Moran will be booked. But I have a feeling that if Reid could have passed that ball a moment earlier, one of 2 other... Oh, he tried to, in fairness. He was trying to find Gray. And is he going to be sent off or not? It looks as though Peter Willis is going to send Kevin Moran off. It was the denying of the goal-scoring opportunity, and we could have a player sent off in the FA Cup final for the first time ever. Kevin Moran has lost his head now because he thinks Peter Willis is sending him off, and they're trying to restrain him. And Kevin Moran makes the sort of history that no player would want. Manchester United are going to be reduced to 10 men because Moran is sent off by the referee. Sheedy floats it in. Gray heading it back. Gary Stevens. Trevor Steven. They're still waiting on the far side. In by Bracewell. Appeals for hands, not given. Well, over on the bench they're pointing and shouting to try to reorganise. They've got to get somebody into the back 4, and I rather think it'll be Stapleton, who went back there in the Milk Cup final 2 years ago because of injury and has gone there to mark Andy Gray. Extraordinary. The booing is from the Manchester United end.
That happened, didn't it? So
VAR
would have stopped that one. There we go. 85 Cup final program, bit bigger.
Too big.
Too big. But yeah, so awful. Got lucky to get Robbo to sign that one for me. So yeah, we get towards, we're in extra time, aren't we? All right. And we know what happens. Here's the clip. Have a look at it.
Gray is up, but Frank Stapleton beat him in the air. Olsen, Hughes. It's gone past Bracewell. Whiteside's onside. Struck him in the middle. Olsen up as well. The goal! Whiteside! That's incredible! How on earth did he get that past Southall? And look at the bench. And Kevin Moran is up as well. The day has suddenly turned a bit brighter for him, and it certainly has for them. What an amazing goal.
A fantastic goal, really. You know, he got Van der Haar in front of him, and he just bent it round him with his left foot, just inside the post here. You can't blame the goalkeeper on that one at all. It was a really superb goal. Oh, look at the bend he had on that ball. Fantastic.
The 10 men are in the lead.
I've just shown Big Norm's clip with him bent.
Oh, Norman down the right.
Yeah, Norman down the right. Well, Sparky got it in the middle. He shrugged off a couple of challenges, and then he just pinged this ball outside of his right foot with a bit of spin on it for Whiteside. And then, was it Strachan who came running with his little legs past Whiteside, didn't he? And then Whiteside did a little shimmy, didn't he, and bent it in the corner.
Little shimmy.
Couldn't believe it. Could not believe that goal went in. That was.
And it hit the camera in the back of the net.
Hit the camera in the back of the net, didn't it? So, but to do that, to get past the Everton defence, but to get past Neville Southall from that, and apparently he used to do it all the time in training, Norman. Yeah, what a player.
What a player.
What a player. Norman. That's why I got my rosette for Norm. Top man Norman. Absolute United legend. You know, for that. Not just that goal, but other goals. But that goal was just incredible. Absolutely incredible. So, you know. It's yeah, so that was 85, wasn't it?
Red and white ribbons on that marvellous old cup. And it goes back to Old Trafford. And a glorious team picture from a team that put in a glorious effort, that in the end, thanks to Norman Whiteside's goal, was a winning effort.
Norman, the youngest FA Cup final goal scorer, but what a marvellous goal for you today as well.
Yes, it just came at the right time, and the last period, extra time, it's a nice time to get the goal, yeah.
I think you'll enjoy having a little look at it, and if it was ever right to ask a player to talk us through a goal, I think it's right at this moment, Norman. Off you go.
Well, I don't know what I was doing that far upfield, but Mark done great. This picture isn't moving, by the way. He done great, and I just brought it inside onto my left foot, and just seen the gap, and it just curled.
That was in every time, didn't it?
Curled in absolutely superbly, didn't it? But we can see it again, I think, from another angle, and Frank Stapleton, a striker who loves the art of goal scoring. I mean, Frank, he's curled this in brilliantly well, and bearing in mind he must have been fairly tired as well.
Yeah, well, look at it. There's only one place you're going to beat the keeper, because the fullbacks, you know, closed it out. It's a fantastic goal. Worthy of the cup final. Fantastic.
And a very impressive display from you as a centre-half, might I say.
I think that got me out of trouble. I got a bit of an injury in the first half. Kevin Ratcliffe just caught me, and I did my medial ligament. And I said to Jimmy McGregor at half-time, was very sorry. So we'll just have to go out and keep going. And when I got back into the middle, I didn't have to use it so much.
Well done, Frank. We must move across to Ron Atkinson and ask you, Ron, about the really controversial moment. Now, our experts have been very, very strong about it indeed. I wouldn't ask you to have a go at a referee, but you were obviously rather distressed when it happened, the sending off.
Yeah, well, the way I saw it, I didn't even think that Kevin made an attempt not to play the ball. I haven't seen it on this, so I don't know. But Kevin looks at me, he was 2v1 at the back. He looks at me as if he was closing it to try and win it. He looks here as if he realises he's got to win it. And that, to be fair, that happens a million times in a football game. The fella's just nicked it. It's gone over, OK, it is a foul, it stopped them from a good situation. But there's nobody in the world going to tell me that's a deliberate attempt to play the player, not the ball.
Well, here it comes. We've got Peter Reid has joined us now. Peter, your view of it?
I thought just called me late, but there was no way he should have gone. I mean, it's an injustice. I mean, that does happen in games. I think it was just because he was the last man, but it was that close. I mean, it wasn't a blatant one. It was just that he was a wee bit late. And
do you think he should have got sent off, Pete?
Oh, I've just said it. It was a bad decision in my opinion. Thought it was a wee bit unlucky. What can you say to the lad? I mean, it must be terrible. But there you go.
What about the view from the Everton camp, Peter?
Well, Manchester United got a great goal. Deserved to win it.
The gargoyles that watched the celluloid Dracula stalk his victims remained stonily non-committal as United took the afternoon off yesterday to enjoy a cruise up the river. Such a contrast to what Wembley would be like 24 hours later. What do you think of life on the river?
Very pleasant. I wouldn't mind resting here, coming here to one of these places after I'd retired. Tell you that. Very, very nice. Very comfortable.
How do you think this will set United up for the final tomorrow? It's a very restful afternoon. It's a beautiful day. I mean, it's a perfect place to be.
Oh, it is. It's, as I say, very relaxing, very calm. Just get you away from the hotel as well, because at the moment there's a lot of bustle around there. So it's nice just to come out here, get away from all the cameras, all the press men.
There's more cameras on the
Where
boat.
did this come from?
Paddling your own canoe isn't necessary in a team game, but the Wembley substitute is always a solitary man, and United's is Mike Duxbury.
You can get used to it, Tony, quite easy. You can get used to it, yeah. A bit different from Rosendale where I live.
Rosendale?
That's right.
There's no water up there, is
It's
it?
a bit bleak up there, aye. Only water we get is rainfall.
If United need a penalty at Wembley to break their duck, one man has volunteered.
Kevin, Captain One Eye.
No, not Captain One Eye, it's fullback John Gidman, who didn't get off to a good start when he missed the boat and had to commandeer a passing cruiser before he could rejoin his teammates.
Well, aye, good man. Welcome aboard, John. Another rescue. I told you I'd do it, didn't I?
Welcomed aboard by everyone but the ship's mascot, who didn't seem at all impressed.
I'm told you've offered to take the penalties, if there are any in the final.
Yeah.
Why is that, John?
Get my name in the papers, won't I? No, honestly. It depends. It depends if how the game goes. If Brian and myself said we'd have a go, and one of us having a bad time, the other will take it.
Now football is a pleasant game, played in the sun, played in the rain, and the team that gets me excited, Manchester United, Manchester